Hello and welcome back to another Reality Check Tech video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 3D printed 5.5-foot Master Sword. Of course it took several days to get this printed and a few more to get it painted, but I'm excited to at least go over that process with you and show you a little bit of how this sword actually looks. Woohoo! Alright, yeah, that's a pretty big size sword, and it's actually really hefty too. It's not at all light. It certainly takes part of your arm strength just to hold it in there, but what's really nice is it's got this huge handle, so I can actually hold it with two hands and actually kick some butt with it. So let's go ahead and talk about the process of the sword. If you're looking at this thing right now, you can see it was printed in 10 different pieces over the course of, like I said, different days. And in this bottom part right here, we actually added some suede leather strapping to the bottom of it and actually painted it in. And then after all that, we put a protective coating on the entire thing just to make sure that it kind of withstands time. I also very purposefully kind of made it look rough. I didn't want it to look perfect. I didn't want it to be a perfect silver. I wanted it to look kind of like it had some wear and tear to it. So it's certainly not 100% perfect, but it's very good for what it is. And so anyway, I found the STL file for this on Thingiverse, and when I printed it, I made sure to print it at much larger. It was actually 120% the size that it normally is supposed to be. So it's actually just about as tall as I am. I'm 6'3" tall, and this thing is just over 5.5 feet tall, which is pretty cool. The sheath took a really long time to print, believe it or not, because it's actually larger. I ended up printing this at 10% infill to try to save some time and some plastic. It came out a little bit weaker than I wanted it to, but then what I did is I actually sprayed it with a plastic dip spray, which then gave it kind of a really nice feel around the whole thing and made it more durable so that if it does fall over, it doesn't just completely break. So what I've done to make it so that it doesn't look like it's broken or put in pieces, I actually put these leather straps on the different joints where they're put together. I didn't put one across this spot. You can see right there, there's kind of obviously a seam going across right there. I didn't want there to be a leather strap going across the Triforce symbol, so that's why there's not one right there. But on the back, you can see we've also got these two spots, so if you want to be able to put it on like a harness on your back and be able to walk around for cosplay at an event, it does have the ability to do so. As for the process of the sheath and the sword, what I did was when I put them together, I glued them using some Gorilla Glue, and I also took a 3D printing pen and I went around and kind of used it as almost like a 3D printing welding device, and then went and actually etched a little seam across the whole piece to kind of keep it together, and then I sanded it down to make it so it was a little bit smoother. Before I started painting it, I made sure to, like I said, spray a plastic dip spray all over the entire piece, and then after that, what I did was I went and put they've got like spray paint for your grill or for your truck bed to make it really, really, hard and very strong. So I put like a truck bed paint all around the whole sword as well as the entire sheath here. And then when I was done with that, I started printing in the colors. And first I went silver on everything to kind of make it lighter, and then I started printing blue, and then I started doing the other colors that I needed to do. When it came to this one, I did all blue first, and then I did a sparkly blue on top of that blue, and then I put a gold, and then I put a sparkly gold on top of that gold, and then I did the whole finish with the protective coat. So that's what we got right here. And I did my best to try to make it look somewhat old, because like I said, I didn't want it to be completely brand new looking. So we've got that right there. And then the sword itself, it's got some rough spots on it, and you can see obviously where the seams are, and that doesn't really bother me too much. I like the size of it, and I didn't really care if it had that. I did actually rough it up a little bit with some sandpaper, and when I sprayed it, I made sure to create some rough spots, because like I said, I wanted it to look like real metal and not like just some perfect piece. When I made this one, I got a darker royal blue for the base of it, and then for the tops, I just put some painter's tape over it and then made sure we got the gold on there as well. So anyway, this is it's easily the largest print I've ever done, and I wanted to show it off to you guys and hope that it can maybe inspire you to either get into 3D printing or make some cool cosplay items yourself. This is not the only cosplay item I've made. I wanted to show you some of the other ones too. So we've got Link's wooden sword right here. If you've ever played Zelda, you know that he has a wooden sword that you get at the beginning. And what's really cool about this 3D printed wooden sword is we actually printed it with wood filament, meaning there was actually pieces of wood in the filaments, like powder, and it actually comes out and it smells like wood when it's printing. It printed this really cool different piece. I actually made edges along the whole thing to make it look more real. These are not, these are actually not imperfections. I created them to make it look more imperfect. and then after I was done with that, I sanded the whole piece down, and I put an actual like a stain varnish on it, so allowing me to stain a 3D printed plastic wood sword is pretty awesome. So I can actually say this is a real wooden sword, although it is 3D printed. And you can tell it's not got the same kind of rustic quality as some of these other ones that I've made. When I was creating this one, it was literally the first time I'd done a project like this, and I was really, really proud of it. Since then, I've made a few other things. So we've got the master sword right here. We've got Link's wooden sword. The only thing I need to do is finish his shield, and I do have his shield already printed. I just need to put it together and paint it. So once we finish that, we'll actually be able to go ahead and cosplay Link, right? Yeah, I've actually never cosplayed any character before. The only other person that I could cosplay besides Link might be Thor of Asgard. Yes, that's right. We have Thor's hammer right here, and if you see it, you can never unsee it. It is the coolest cosplay item in the world. It's got no metal inside of it, like I said, other than the magnets that I added to it. Number one, I wanted to give some weight to it. Plus, it's kind of cool if there's like a piece of metal on the ground, I can just reach down and pick it right up and be like, oh, here you go. So, and the most important thing is when you put it on a metal surface and you go to pick it up, it actually feels like, and you gotta like pull it off. So that's one of the coolest things about this. But yeah. Okay, and lastly, I know it's getting kind of dark out here right now, so I don't have much light left, but I made some 3D printed wooden wands, and once again, these are also printed with wooden filament. These are from the Harry Potter, movies, and this is I can't remember whose wands they are exactly, but anyways, these are two very cool ones. This is the Elder Wand right here, as you can kind of tell, the Elder Wand. Yeah. Not only does it smell like wooden stain, it actually has that wood feel to it, and it's really nice to have these large wooden wands, so you can do your cool spells with it. I don't remember the spells. Anyway guys, I just wanted to do a quick video to show you kind of the different cool 3D printed items that I've been working on in the last few days, weeks, months if that, and also just to inspire you to see if you want to do more things like this, or if you're interested in things like this, there's definitely ways you can do it. Nobody taught me how to do this. I've just kind of started playing with it, and I just keep working with it. To be a maker or to work with craft, you don't have to have experience, you just have to try and make mistakes and then fix them. None of these projects came out quickly, none of them came out perfectly. I had to do a lot of work to turn them into what they are, and I had a lot of problems throughout it. No doubt when I try to do this kind of stuff in the future, I'm going to be better. So I hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at this stuff. If you want to see more content like this, please let me know. And if you want to see different cosplay items, or if you'd like me to make something specifically, let me know in the comments below. I really do appreciate you guys checking it out, and I hope you have fun. I'll see you next time. Bye.